shades of gold. Up goes Our Overanova. Our Overanova grabs the lead. Majestic SJ going with him. His big heart, it's reaching to the bottom and he's going to do it. Out he goes, the winner, Our Overanova. That's it, final start, and he bows out in a great way as a winner. What a trotter he's been. Majestic.
Yeah, Our Overanova. I mean, Greg Mitchell and Sharon Mitchell brought him over from New Zealand, and I remember early on, you know, he was a pretty good trotter, but I could never have imagined what he would have done. I mean, you know, the number of wins that he did, and I know it was an unbelievable achievement, not just for the horse, but also for Grant, also for Greg and Sharon Mitchell, who love their trotters. And I think Our Overanova really probably put harness trotting in Queensland even further on the harness racing calendar in Australia.
Hope it keeps you warm, hope it keeps you high.
Oh, look, he actually probably missed being in the stable life for quite a period. He's probably only just the last bit starting to get a bit used to, you know, chilling out and that. But he really did probably like being in work and doing what he did. He just always fronted up for us, so consistent. Tried, you know, every time he stepped out. And like most nights in Albion Park, he was one of our last runners, and more times than not, if we're having an average night, he turned the night around for us. Yeah, I think the thing with him was the fact that he knew how to win. He never won by big margins, and probably people still never probably appreciated how good he was until the very end, because he just kept fronting up, and he never won. Like, I can't recall a time that he won by a big margin, because he always used to hold them. Like, he'd frighten you, but he'd always beat them by a metre or a head and get the job done.
Well, as it stands, Our Overanova is the best trotter that we've had in Queensland. His record proves that. And I think it's only going to be a matter of time before he's going to be inducted into the Queensland Harness Racing Hall of Fame, given what he achieved on the track. He came over from New Zealand. There was no grand plans for him. There was no big aspirations. But what he turned out to be was an absolute icon of Queensland trotting. One features here in this state, one features in New South Wales, one features in Victoria. He's going to go down as one of our all-time greats.
He goes up the top Speller's paddock with a couple other retired horses up there that have done a good job for us. He's up there with Alleluia, one of Greg's other good horses. He's happy enough up there now. At the start he was a little unsettled. He always wanted to come back in. He was waiting at the gate, but he's settled in a little now. And yeah, any horse in general, you always want to hope that they find a good home, or you do the best that you can for them. We're happy to have him here and have him up the top, because we know where he is, and we still feed him twice a day, and he's up near the house, so he's always just outside the kids' bedroom window.
Got to say, like, I thoroughly did enjoy having him the whole time. You know, he just it's probably hard to explain, because like all Saturday night, I always look forward to driving him. Like, yeah, like that was like he was normally race 10, and then I'm looking forward to getting to him. You know, so yeah, no, it was we miss him a lot. As far as trotters goes, he was just so reliable. He'd never let us down. Yeah, well, was a couple of fronts. Like, he is so good to drive. Like, everyone that did drive him won on him, and he was that way. He was enjoyable to drive, and he just knew that he was going to run a good race and put his head down and do his best.
Yeah, I think it's only fitting that a race like this is named after such an iconic trotter. So I think this is great, not only for the horse himself, but for his connections as well, Greg and Sharon Mitchell, plus Grant and Trista Dixon as well. They did so much for this horse, but he gave back in spades. So to have a race like this named after him, I think it is going to be a good thing for the industry moving forward.
Yeah, I think Our Overanova, now that he's retired, I think it's important that we continue to reflect and remember and celebrate his great achievement. I mean, an unbelievable achievement, and I think it's certainly important that the creek continues to reflect on the great horses that we've seen come and go, and Our Overanova is one of them, being a trotter, and I think it's even extra special.